Hello from Mindset Daily, wishing you a day full of health, peace, and happiness. Thank you for watching the Mindset Daily channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe to support us. Thank you so much. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to attract success without even trying? What if the secret to their success isn't luck, but something you can build every single day? And what if the biggest difference between success and struggle lies in the choices you make when no one's watching? Success isn't random. It's not a prize handed out to the lucky few. It's the natural outcome of consistent habits shaped by a focused, winning mindset. While it may look like some people effortlessly attract success, the truth runs deeper. They've developed powerful routines, disciplined thoughts, and intentional behaviors that align with their long-term goals. This isn't about luck, it's about design. Every successful person you admire follows a pattern. They invest in growth, take deliberate action, and remain committed, even when life tests them. Meanwhile, those who stay stuck often fall into invisible traps: procrastination, self-doubt, and inconsistency. The real divide isn't talent. It's not intelligence. It's the quiet power of small, daily decisions that accumulate over time and shape your future. If your goal is to attract success, it all begins with your mindset. Focus on building productive habits. Surround yourself with people who uplift and inspire. Take intentional steps forward every single day. Success isn't a chase, it's a transformation. It becomes a natural result when your actions mirror your vision. Who you become shapes everything. Every thought, every choice, every habit. They're the strokes of a paintbrush, and your life is the canvas. So, ask yourself, are you crafting a masterpiece, or are you letting the world sketch something unrecognizable? Real success is not just a list of accomplishments. It's a reflection of who you are at the core. The way you think, the way you move, the way you carry yourself. These are the signals you send into the world, and the world responds accordingly. If you want to attract greatness, you must cultivate it from within. It all starts with your mindset, your discipline, and your willingness to act, even when it's uncomfortable. Every decision, no matter how small, becomes a brick in the foundation of the person you're becoming. Think about someone you've met who radiates confidence and purpose. They don't need to shout. Their presence speaks volumes. That kind of quiet influence, it isn't accidental. It's built slowly, intentionally, over years of inner work, through a refusal to settle for less, through the relentless pursuit of growth. So now the question is, are you ready to start building that kind of presence? Let's explore how that transformation continues, step by step, in the next part. Previously, we explored how lasting success is rooted in the small, daily choices that align with your vision, and how your mindset lays the foundation for everything you attract. Now, let's see what happens when someone commits to that identity before success ever arrives. Some individuals don't wait to be chosen. They shape themselves into the kind of people success naturally gravitates toward. Their identity is rooted in strength, ambition, and an unwavering belief in their potential. A powerful example of this is Edwin C. Barnes. Barnes had a burning desire, not just to work for Thomas Edison, but to partner with a great inventor. He had no money, no experience, and no powerful connections. But what he did have was vision. Long before anyone else believed in him, Barnes already saw himself as Edison's equal. Unlike those who wait for the perfect time, Barnes created his own opportunity. He couldn't afford a train ticket to Edison's New Jersey office, so he jumped on a freight train. He arrived not with wealth or credentials, but with conviction. When he finally stood face to face with Edison, Barnes didn't ask for a job. He declared his intention. He wanted to be Edison's business partner. At that moment, he wasn't one, but he thought, spoke, and acted like one. Impressed by his resolve, Edison gave him a low-level job, hardly the dream position Barnes had imagined. But instead of feeling defeated, Barnes worked tirelessly. Day after day, he proved his worth, never losing sight of his vision. Then came a moment that changed everything. When Edison needed someone to sell his new invention, the Edison dictating machine, Barnes seized the chance. With unwavering confidence, he took on the challenge, not only succeeding, but becoming the exclusive distributor. That single opportunity transformed him from a nobody into a wealthy businessman and, finally, into Edison's trusted partner, just as he had imagined all along. And Barnes wasn't the only one who built success from belief. Henry Ford, before becoming one of the most influential industrialists in history, also faced failure twice. He launched 2 car companies that collapsed before founding the legendary Ford Motor Company. At a time when automobiles were a luxury for the elite, Ford envisioned something radical, a car affordable enough for the average person. He held firm to his belief in mass production, efficiency, and innovation. These principles allowed him to not only survive, but lead, even through the turmoil of the Great Depression in the 1930s. Ford's mindset was clear. A man's success is shaped by his belief in himself, not by his past failures. It wasn't about avoiding mistakes. It was about rising from them with stronger resolve. So, ask yourself, who do you need to become to achieve the success you truly want? The answer doesn't lie in pretending to be someone else. It lies in embracing the version of you that success is already searching for. And in the next part, we'll uncover exactly how to unlock that version, step by step. Previously, we uncovered a powerful truth. That success doesn't come from chasing, it comes from becoming. When your identity aligns with your vision, success begins to find you. Now, let's talk about how to turn that identity into reality through intentional, goal-driven action. Success is not accidental. It doesn't appear out of thin air or land in the laps of the lucky. It is created step by step through purpose, precision, and persistence. It is built deliberately, not hoped into existence. Most people live life on autopilot. They react to circumstances instead of designing the future they truly want. They drift, waiting for the right moment, hoping success will somehow show up at their doorstep. But here's the truth. If you don't define your life, the world will define it for you. And chances are, it won't be in your favor. Life doesn't reward vague intentions. It responds to clarity, conviction, and consistent effort. It rewards those who take ownership of their destiny. Every successful person, without exception, sets goals, but not just any goals. Their goals are specific, actionable, and deeply personal. They don't chase what sounds good. They pursue what feels aligned. Goals that reflect their deepest values and long-term purpose. When your goals are clear and meaningful, they become more than a to-do list. They act as a compass, pointing you in the direction of your vision. They give your days structure, your actions meaning, and your decisions clarity. Imagine building a house without a blueprint. What would that look like? That's how most people try to build a successful life. But those who rise above don't leave it to chance. They know what they're building, brick by brick. Their ambition isn't scattered. It's structured. So ask yourself, are you setting goals that truly reflect who you are and what you want? Or are you following a script that doesn't belong to you? Success is not wishful thinking. It's a strategy, and it begins the moment you decide to move with purpose. In the next part, we'll explore how the daily execution of those goals, through consistency and discipline, separates dreamers from achievers. Because clarity alone isn't enough. What matters is what you do with it. In the last section, we learned that success doesn't begin with vague dreams. It starts with setting clear, purposeful goals. But goals alone aren't enough. What you do with those goals, how you act on them daily, is what truly builds momentum. Your goals should become a force so strong that they pull you forward, even on the days when you feel uninspired or tired. That's the power of clarity. Goals are not meant to be distant wishes or abstract hopes. They should be precise, guiding you like a compass through every decision you make every single day. Let's break this down clearly. Vague goals simply don't work. Saying, "I want to be successful," means nothing unless you define it. What does success truly look like for you? Is it financial independence? Mästerlingekraft. Launching a movement or building a business that changes lives? Clarity gives power. The more specific your goals are, the more focused and intentional your actions will be. And here's something essential. Reverse engineer your success. If your ultimate goal is to build a thriving business, don't just dream it, break it down. What should you accomplish in 1 year? In 6 months? In the next 30 days? Make your goals measurable, trackable, and time-bound. Because success loves structure. Without clear milestones, even your best intentions can fade into inaction. But goal setting is only half the equation. Execution is everything. Your goals should stretch you. They should challenge you, scare you a little, but excite you a lot. Growth never happens inside your comfort zone. If you're not being pushed, you're not progressing. And those who stay in their comfort zones rarely reach greatness. Let's be clear, goals without action are just dreams. The only difference between the dreamers and the achievers is execution. Think of the great pioneers of history. They didn't wait for the stars to align. They took bold action. Thomas Edison didn't invent the light bulb overnight. He tested thousands of failures before he found the solution. Henry Ford didn't revolutionize transportation by chance. He relentlessly refined his process until it changed the world. They didn't stumble into success. They built it through clear vision and daily, disciplined execution. Consistency is the hidden engine of all success. Small steps, repeated with intent, compound into massive outcomes over time. You don't scale a mountain in one leap. You take it one step at a time. Every action you take, no matter how small, should move you closer to your goal. And when motivation fades, as it inevitably will, discipline and persistence will carry you forward. Success isn't reserved for the gifted or the lucky. It belongs to those who define their vision, create a strategy, and take relentless action. So define your goals. Take your first step and commit to the process. Because in the next part, we'll explore how environment, the people and spaces around you, can either fuel your growth or quietly sabotage it. In the previous section, we explored how success is earned through clarity, structure, and relentless action. But even with a solid plan, life will inevitably challenge you. The question is, how will you respond when it does? Setbacks are not signs that you're failing. They are tests of how badly you want to move forward. Your future isn't something you passively wait for. It's something you actively create moment by moment. And to do that, you must learn one critical skill: turning setbacks into comebacks. Life will test you. That's guaranteed. But here's the truth. Your success is not defined by how many times you fall. It's defined by how many times you rise again. Resilience is the difference between those who reach the summit and those who turn back halfway. It's the ability to keep moving despite the failures, the disappointments, and the pain. The road to success is filled with obstacles, but those obstacles are not there to block you. They are there to build you. Each one is an opportunity in disguise, a challenge meant to strengthen your resolve and sharpen your vision. The key lies in how you frame failure. It's not the opposite of success. It's part of the process. Every setback carries a lesson. Every mistake is a teacher. Every time you're knocked down, you're faced with a decision: stay down or rise up stronger than before. History has shown us this time and again. Abraham Lincoln lost multiple elections. He faced deep personal tragedies, yet he never stopped. And eventually, he became one of the most impactful presidents in U.S. history. Why? Because he refused to let failure define him. So how do you build that kind of resilience? You train your mind to see struggle not as a roadblock, but as a stepping stone. When life gets hard, don't ask, "Why me?" Ask instead, what is this teaching me? The sooner you extract the lesson, the faster you grow and move forward. Mental toughness is at the core of resilience. Resilient people don't dwell on what went wrong. They analyze, they adapt, and then they act. They don't hand over control of their emotions to circumstances. They take back the wheel. And here's another truth: growth never happens in comfort. You build resilience by stepping outside what's easy and familiar, by pushing yourself past limits you didn't even know you had. That's how you create a foundation so solid it cannot be shaken. The most remarkable achievements come from people who are willing to endure, to keep going when others gave up. Resilience is their superpower, not because they never failed, but because they never stopped trying. They understood something simple but powerful. Failure is temporary. Quitting is what makes it permanent. So when life knocks you down, and it will, remember this: the comeback is always greater than the setback. In the next part, we'll dive into one of the most overlooked keys to long-term success: the power of your environment, and how the people and energy around you can either lift you up or hold you back. Previously, we saw that resilience isn't about avoiding failure. It's about rising after every fall. It's about pushing forward again and again until strength becomes second nature. Now, let's talk about the fuel that makes resilience possible: unshakable self-belief. Before the world will ever believe in you, you must believe in yourself. Self-belief is the root of all meaningful success. It's the invisible force that pushes people to defy the odds, rise above their limitations, and create lives that others only dream about. The greatest obstacles in life are rarely outside of us. They're internal: doubt, fear, that quiet voice that whispers you're not good enough. Negative self-talk can do more damage than any failure ever could. Because if you don't believe in your own worth, why would anyone else? But here's the thing: when you do believe in yourself, truly and deeply, you become unstoppable. You become someone a world can't ignore. Take a moment and think back to a time when you hesitated, when you second-guessed yourself. Was that hesitation based on actual facts or on fear? More often than not, self-doubt is a lie, a habit passed down through past mistakes, outside criticism, or fear of the unknown. But here's the good news: belief is not something you're born with. It's something you build. Just like muscle, self-belief grows through repetition. Every time you take action in the face of fear, every time you follow through despite uncertainty, you're strengthening your inner foundation. Start small. Set a goal. Hit it. Remind yourself you can do hard things. History is full of people who changed the world not because everyone believed in them, but because they believed in themselves first. Walt Disney was told he lacked imagination until he created an empire. Henry Ford was mocked for thinking cars could be affordable until he revolutionized transportation. The Wright brothers were laughed at for chasing flight until they made history. These weren't accidents. They were the results of unwavering belief. Confidence is not handed out. It's built, brick by brick. And once you fully believe in your abilities, the world begins to reflect that belief right back at you. Suddenly, opportunities show up. People begin to take notice. The right doors begin to open, not because something outside you changed, but because you did. People naturally gravitate toward those who carry themselves with purpose, who trust their direction, and who walk with confidence in their own ability. But here's the catch. Self-belief isn't about arrogance, and it's not about pretending to be invincible. It's about something deeper. And in the next section, we'll explore what that really means and how to stay grounded while building unstoppable confidence from within. In the last section, we uncovered how true self-belief isn't about arrogance. It's about trust in your ability to grow, to act, and to rise again. Now, let's go deeper into the mindset that separates achievers from dreamers. Believing in yourself doesn't mean blind optimism. It doesn't mean ignoring reality or pretending everything is perfect. It means acknowledging your worth, building your skills, and taking decisive action, even when doubt tries to creep in. It means silencing the inner critic and choosing determination over hesitation. Because even if you fail, and you will at times, self-belief is what empowers you to get back up stronger and wiser than before. What truly separates those who succeed from those who settle is not luck. It's not raw talent. It's the quiet but powerful decision to believe in yourself, especially when no one else does. Every remarkable success story starts the same way, with someone who decided they were capable before they had any external proof. So, choose belief. Not tomorrow. Not when you feel more ready. Not when things seem easier. Choose it today, because the moment you do, the path forward becomes clearer and success begins to move in your direction. It all starts with a decision, a shift in mindset, a personal declaration. I am capable of achieving what I set my mind to. Success isn't reserved for those waiting for approval from the world. It belongs to those who approve of themselves first. Stand tall, trust in your potential, and walk forward with steady, unwavering faith. Because once you truly believe in yourself, you become a force that can't be stopped. But belief alone is not enough. What truly turns belief into results? What transforms vision into victory? Is the next key, discipline. In the next section, we'll explore how discipline, not talent, not motivation, is the real secret behind every success story. In the last section, we discovered that belief is where the journey begins, but it's discipline that turns belief into achievement. Now, let's talk about how discipline works, not as a moment of willpower, but as a muscle you build day by day. Discipline isn't something you're born with. It's something you train. And like any muscle, the more consistently you exercise it, the stronger it becomes. Discipline doesn't require dramatic overnight transformation. It starts with small, intentional actions that build momentum over time. Wake up when you said you would. Follow through on promises, even the ones you made to yourself. Stick to your schedule, even when it's tempting to drift. These acts might feel minor in the moment, but repeated daily, they compound into powerful results. Each small commitment kept, each task completed despite resistance, becomes a brick in the foundation of your success. Over weeks, months, and years, these choices build unstoppable momentum. They're the hidden force behind every breakthrough and every transformation. Think of discipline as the framework that holds your success together. Without it, even the most brilliant plans collapse. A great strategy is worthless without the consistency to execute it. $1 million idea? Meaningless if you never bring it to life. Talent may open doors, but only discipline will keep you walking through them. Ask yourself honestly, are your daily habits aligned with the future you're trying to create? Because success doesn't come from what you do once in a while. It comes from what you commit to every single day. The decisions you make today shape the life you'll live tomorrow. Discipline is what drives action even when motivation vanishes. It's what keeps you on track when the path gets hard, when progress is slow, and when giving up seems easier. There will be days when you don't feel like pushing forward, but if you've trained your discipline, you will. So don't wait for the perfect mood. Don't wait for motivation to strike. Start now. Train your discipline like a muscle. Be consistent, even when it's uncomfortable. And over time, you'll witness your life changing in ways you never thought possible. Because in the end, success doesn't belong to those who dabble. It belongs to those who show up, who do the work, and who never stop moving forward. And speaking of moving forward, there's one more key to unlocking lasting success in today's world: the ability to adapt and keep learning, no matter how quickly things change. In the last section, we saw how discipline builds momentum, the kind that turns effort into results and intention into real transformation. But there's another force just as critical: the ability to keep learning, adapting, and growing in a world that never stands still. Because in today's fast-changing world, your ultimate advantage isn't just talent or opportunity, it's knowledge. But let's be clear, knowledge alone isn't power. Applied knowledge is. Reading a book won't change your life. Applying what's inside it will. Attending a seminar won't transform you. But taking consistent action on what you've learned, that's where the transformation begins. Growth is not a passive process, it's active. It requires effort, intention, and the courage to move beyond what's comfortable. Learning isn't about collecting facts or memorizing ideas. It's about using that insight to improve, to innovate, and to stay relevant in a world that's constantly evolving. And here's the deeper truth. Learning isn't just about taking in new information. It's about adaptability. It's about staying open to fresh ideas, different perspectives, and new ways of thinking. The moment you believe you've figured everything out, you stop growing. And when you stop growing, you begin to fall behind. The world doesn't pause. It won't wait for you to catch up. So why should you stand still? The most successful people, leaders, creators, visionaries, they never stop learning. They don't see education as a phase. They see it as a lifelong practice. They remain curious, humble, and hungry. They understand that real wisdom isn't about having all the answers. It's about being willing to seek better ones. Think of your mind like a blade. If you don't sharpen it regularly, it dulls. And a dull blade can't cut through the new challenges that come your way. It's ineffective. It slows you down. It leaves you stuck. Personal development isn't a single event. It's a lifestyle. It's the ongoing sharpening of your mind, the constant improvement of your skills, the daily effort to stay sharp, stay useful, and stay ahead of the curve. So ask yourself, what are you learning today that will make you better tomorrow? Are you reading something that stretches your thinking? Are you surrounding yourself with people who challenge your perspective? Are you applying the lessons or just consuming content and calling it growth? Because here's the truth. The gap between success and stagnation often comes down to one word: execution. Not what you know, but what you do with what you know. Commit to feeding your mind. Read, listen, reflect, and most importantly, act. Because knowledge without action is only potential. Knowledge with action is power. It's the engine of progress, the spark behind innovation, the foundation of lasting success. And as the world continues to evolve with or without you, the real question becomes, will you evolve with it? In the next section, we'll talk about what it truly means to surround yourself with the right people, and how your environment can either push you forward or quietly hold you back. In the last section, we explored how continuous learning and adaptability are essential in a world that never stops changing. But even the most determined learner needs one more powerful element to thrive: the right environment. Because who you surround yourself with can either fuel your growth or quietly sabotage it. Take a look around. The people in your life, your circle, are either lifting you higher or pulling you down. Success isn't only about your habits or your hustle. It's also about your surroundings, the voices you hear, the energy you absorb, the standards you accept. It's been said that you become the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Think about that for a moment. If you're surrounded by driven, forward-thinking people, ambition becomes your new normal. But if you're surrounded by complainers, procrastinators, or excuse makers, mediocrity begins to feel comfortable, acceptable even. Energy is contagious, both the kind that inspires you and the kind that drains you. Spend enough time around those who settle for less, and soon you'll find yourself shrinking your own vision to match theirs. But surround yourself with people who push limits, demand more of themselves, and aim higher, and you'll feel pulled to rise with them. This is why successful people are intentional about their circles. They don't just allow anyone into their inner world. They choose to be around those who challenge them, who bring out their best, and who keep them accountable to their highest standards. They seek mentors. They network with those who are already where they want to be. And they distance themselves from toxic, limiting, or negative influences, not out of selfishness, but out of strategy. Because every conversation you engage in, every person you give access to your energy, either nudges you closer to your goals or pulls you off course. Your time and your mental space are precious resources. The best in any field understand this. They invest both wisely. So, ask yourself, who are you spending your time with? Are they encouraging your growth or reinforcing your doubts? Do they challenge you to level up or enable you to stay where you are? Your circle should include people who inspire new thinking, introduce you to fresh opportunities, and help you grow into the best version of yourself. This doesn't mean cutting people off without cause, but it does mean being intentional about who gets consistent access to your time, your thoughts, and your energy. Sometimes, growth requires creating distance from patterns, places, or even people. Not because you think you're better, but because you're ready to become better. You don't owe anyone your stagnation. You owe yourself your progress. And as you protect your circle, surround yourself with excellence, and stay focused on growth, there's one more powerful principle to master: consistency. The habit that turns daily effort into extraordinary results. In the last section, we explored the power of your circle, how the people around you shape your energy, your focus, and ultimately, your future. Now, let's take that idea one step further by choosing not only who you surround yourself with, but also how you see the world around you. Because success isn't just built on discipline, strategy, or even who you know. It's also shaped by your mindset. And one of the most powerful shifts you can make is moving from a scarcity mindset to one of abundance. Your mindset determines how you interpret everything, every opportunity, every setback, every moment of uncertainty. It's the filter through which you process life. And that filter directly impacts the actions you take, the chances you're willing to pursue, and the way you respond to challenges. A scarcity mindset whispers, there's not enough time, not enough opportunity, not enough success to go around. It says that if someone else wins, it somehow means you've lost. This type of thinking breeds fear, comparison, and resentment. It tells you to hold back, to protect what little you have, to hesitate instead of leap. People trapped in scarcity fear failure more than they desire success. They resist collaboration, worried that helping others might cost them something. They play small. They second-guess themselves. And over time, their belief in lack becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Because when you expect limits, you find them everywhere. But contrast that with the abundance mindset. An abundance mindset says, there's more than enough. If someone else succeeds, it's proof that success is possible. Not something to envy, but something to learn from. People who operate from this mindset see opportunities instead of obstacles. They believe that growth is infinite. That success is not a pie with only so many slices, but a field that grows the more you cultivate it. Rather than viewing others as competition, they see them as inspiration, as potential collaborators, as teachers. They stay open to new ideas. They share knowledge, and they build meaningful relationships that open doors. They are quick to take action, to invest in themselves, and to innovate, because they trust that more is always possible. This single shift in mindset, from scarcity to abundance, can change everything. So ask yourself, are you operating from fear or from possibility? Are you protecting what you have, or are you reaching for what's still out there? Because once you begin to adopt an abundance mindset, you'll start to see opportunities where others see limits. And that mindset won't just help you grow. It will multiply everything around you. In the next part, we'll talk about how the pursuit of purpose over perfection keeps you moving forward, especially when the fear of not being ready tries to hold you back. In the last section, we explored how an abundance mindset can unlock opportunities that fear and scarcity often hide. But here's the deeper truth. It's not opportunity that most people lack. It's perspective. The most successful individuals don't simply see the world differently. They respond to it differently. Where others see setbacks, they see stepping stones. Where others freeze at failure, they lean in and learn. They don't waste energy asking, "Why is this happening to me?" Instead, they ask, "What is this here to teach me?" This subtle but powerful shift transforms failure into fuel. It strengthens resilience, which becomes one of their greatest assets. You become what you focus on. If your attention is locked on problems, your life becomes filled with more of them. But if you shift your focus to solutions, your brain starts to look for answers, for possibilities, for ways forward. That's not wishful thinking. It's how your mind is wired. Your brain filters the world through the lens of your dominant beliefs. If you constantly repeat to yourself, "I'm not good enough," or "I'll never make it," your brain looks for evidence to support that. But if you choose to believe in growth, success, and possibility, your actions will begin to align with those beliefs. And in doing so, you'll start noticing opportunities that were always there, just previously hidden by doubt. Shifting from scarcity to abundance isn't automatic. It's intentional. It requires mental training. Start by catching yourself in limiting thoughts and reframing them. Instead of saying, "I can't afford this," ask, "How can I afford this?" Instead of thinking, "I'll never be as good as them," remind yourself, "If they can do it, so can I." Surround yourself with people who uplift your thinking. Read books, watch videos, and consume content that stretches your perspective. And most importantly, practice gratitude. Gratitude isn't just about feeling good. It shifts your focus from what's missing to what's already working in your life. That shift reinforces abundance. It tells your brain, "I have more than enough to begin." And from that place, your confidence grows. Because your thoughts create the blueprint for your reality. If you want to attract success, you must begin thinking like someone who's already living it. See every obstacle as a hidden opportunity. View every setback as a teacher. And let the success of others serve as proof. Not that you're behind, but that you're next. Change your mindset, and your life will follow. In the next section, we'll explore how passion and purpose fuel that transformation, and why without them, even success can feel empty. In the previous section, we explored how shifting your mindset can unlock the path to growth. But mindset alone isn't enough. Something deeper is needed to sustain your journey. That something is passion and purpose. The emotional engine and the directional compass that guide your every step. Passion is what makes you come alive. It's the energy that drives you to wake up early, stay up late, and give your all to what you love. It brings excitement, drive, and enthusiasm to your work. Passion makes the journey more than just bearable. It makes it meaningful and energizing. But passion without direction can also lead to burnout. It can scatter your energy, leaving you feeling overwhelmed or unfulfilled. That's where purpose steps in. Purpose gives your passion clarity. It's the reason behind your effort, the why that guides the what. When you're driven by purpose, your work becomes more than a job. It becomes a mission. You're not just chasing a goal. You're building something that matters. Purpose provides resilience. It gives you the strength to keep going when motivation fades. It transforms temporary excitement into lasting commitment. It helps you filter your decisions, focus your energy, and align your efforts with something bigger than yourself. When passion meets purpose, you create unstoppable momentum. You no longer depend on bursts of inspiration. You operate from deep conviction. Your work gains meaning, your struggles gain value, and your setbacks become lessons. You stop merely chasing success and start pursuing impact. But let's be honest, passion alone is not enough. Many people are passionate, yet never succeed. because they lack direction, discipline, or a clear strategy. To truly succeed, you must pair passion with action, purpose with execution. Dreams only become reality when backed by effort, structure, and persistence. Success is not built on fleeting moments of enthusiasm. It's built on consistent action. It's about setting goals, building skills, and taking smart, calculated risks. It's about showing up, not just when things are exciting, but especially when they're difficult, repetitive, or discouraging. You need to be willing to endure the boring parts, to push through slow progress, to adapt when plans fail. Because mastery doesn't happen in a day. It's shaped by years of dedication. So find what excites you. Discover what gives your life meaning. Passion is the spark, but purpose is the foundation that keeps the fire burning. Ask yourself, where are you naturally drawn to? What problem in the world do you feel compelled to help solve? Then commit to it. Learn, practice, build, improve. Because in the next section, we'll explore how action, not just ideas, is the final ingredient that turns purpose into real, lasting success. In the previous section, we explored how passion and purpose must be aligned, and that it's not just about dreaming big, but also about doing the work consistently. Now, let's talk about the final and most important piece, action. Because at the end of the day, all the passion, purpose, and planning in the world mean nothing if you don't follow through. You need to act with discipline, with intention, and with persistence. Every single day, when you commit to working with both passion and purpose, success stops being a matter of if and becomes only a matter of when. The people who change their lives and the world aren't just dreamers. They're doers. They act even when they feel uncertain. They take bold steps, endure setbacks, and stay true to their vision. They don't just wish for success, they build it. So, align your passion with a clear purpose. Show up, do the work, because when you do, success doesn't become a distant goal. It becomes an inevitable result. Here's the truth. Action is the bridge between your dreams and your reality. You could have a strongest mindset, the biggest, most exciting goals, the most powerful support network. But if you don't take action, none of it matters. Success isn't about thinking. It's about doing. It's about showing up, making progress, and pushing forward day after day. Too many people wait. They wait for the right timing, the perfect conditions, or a sign that they're ready. But let's be honest, there is no perfect moment. The right time isn't someday. It's now. The difference between those who achieve and those who don't is simple. Achievers act. They move even when they're uncertain. They start before they have everything figured out. They fail, they learn, and they keep going. If you want success, stop waiting. Stop doubting. Stop overthinking. And start doing everything you want. Every result you dream of is already within your reach. But the real question is, are you willing to become the kind of person who attracts it? Because success doesn't come from luck. It's not about being born into the right circumstances. It's about mindset. It's about discipline. It's about resilience. And most importantly, it's about action. It's about making the decision every single day to grow, to stretch, to take responsibility for your future. You don't need anyone's permission. You don't need external validation. You already have what you need, right here, right now. So what will you do today? What habit will you build? What step will you take? What action will you commit to? Because the life you want isn't waiting for you to find it. It's waiting for you to create it. Now go out there and become the person who attracts success. Wishing you strength, health, and happiness on your journey. And don't forget to subscribe to Mindset Daily for more powerful content to fuel your growth.